Not for All the Hamantaschen in Town. Written by Laura Aaron Milhander. Illustrated by Ina Chernyak. Car-Ben Publishing. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived together in a sturdy brick house. The pigs worked hard during the week, and on the weekends they relaxed by wallowing in the cool, smooth mud. One morning, the pigs were getting ready for Purim. "The Purim carnival is tomorrow," exclaimed the first pig, whose name was Rishon. "It will be so much fun." "We'll need costumes," said the second pig, Shani. "Let's make crowns," suggested Shlishi, the third pig. "We can all be King Ahasuerus in the Purim parade." The 3 little pigs collected their craft supplies to make crowns for the carnival. Rishon made his crown out of bright purple paper. It only took him a few minutes, and he spent the rest of the afternoon playing in the mud. Shani made his crown with poster board, gold foil, and glue. This took a little longer, but there was still plenty of time for a dip in the mud with Rishon. Shlishi made his crown from poster board too, but he had a plan. He decided to make his crown even stronger with paper mache. First, he cut out his crown from the poster board. Then he mixed flour and water to form a paste. Next, he dipped strips of newspaper into the paste and stuck them onto the poster board crown. While he waited for the paper mache to dry, Shlishi cleaned up the mess. Then he decorated the crown. It took him all afternoon to finish. He didn't take even a minute to play in the mud before it was time to go to bed. The next morning, Rishon, Shani, and Shlishi put on their crowns and set out for the Purim carnival. Meanwhile, a big bad wolf was prowling the forest outside of town. I smell Hamantaschen. Delicious. I'll go into town and buy some." When the little pigs reached the carnival, they squealed in delight. The street was packed with game booths, prize tables, and food stands. Music, cheering, and laughter echoed all around. Everybody, young and old, was dressed in every imaginable costume. "Let's split up and explore," said Rishon. "We can meet by the Hamantaschen stand in a little while." So the little pigs all ran off in different directions. When the wolf arrived in town, everyone who saw him gasped and ran away in fear. The wolf was used to this, but he began to worry. Big bad wolves would not be welcome at the Purim carnival. What if no one would sell him a Hamantaschen? The wolf noticed the bright and lively costumes everybody was wearing. "If I had a costume, no one will recognize me," he said to himself. "Then no one will be afraid of me, and I'll be able to buy a Hamantaschen." He had to find a costume quickly. It was too late to make a costume, but perhaps he could steal one. He came upon Rishon, who was helping to collect baskets of mishloach manot for tzedakah. The wolf leaped in front of Rishon and growled, little pig, give me your crown." "Not for all the Hamantaschen in town," exclaimed Rishon. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your crown off." And that's just what he did. The crown, made only of paper, flew off Rishon's head. But before the wolf could grab it, the crown was caught by the passing breeze and disappeared down the street. The wolf gave a small, sad howl and rushed off in search of another costume. The wolf spotted Shani, who was decorating a Megillah cover at the craft table. The wolf bounded up to Shani and snarled, little pig, give me your crown." "Not for all the Hamantaschen in town," cried Shani. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your crown off." And that's just what the wolf did. Cardboard is stronger than paper, but after the second puff, the crown flew off Shani's head. Before the wolf could grab it, some children ran past and trampled it beneath their feet. The wolf sighed and ran off again. The wolf noticed Schleich among a crowd of children practicing making noise with their groggers. The wolf jumped in front of Schleich and howled, little pig, give me your crown." "Not for all the Hamantaschen in town," shouted Schleich. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your crown off." And he tried. Again and again the wolf blew, but the sturdy crown stayed on Schleich's head. Finally, the wolf reached out to grab the crown with his paws. Just then, a child dressed as Mordecai stepped forward. "If you want a costume, you can use my hat." He offered the wolf a black, three-cornered Haman hat. The wolf eagerly placed it on his head between his furry ears. The other children, seeing the wolf dressed as Haman, booed and shook their groggers. "Oh, no!" cried the wolf. "Nobody likes Haman, and nobody likes me. I'll never get a Hamantaschen." The embarrassed wolf turned to run away, but Schleich stopped him. "If you want a Hamantaschen, you don't need a costume, and you don't need to be a bully either. You just need to ask nicely." "But I'm a big bad wolf," the wolf protested. "You may be big," said Schleich, "but you don't have to be bad. Here, I'll lend you my crown." Schleich took off his crown and handed it to the wolf. "Thank you," stammered the wolf. He exchanged his Haman hat for Schleich's crown, and the children cheered. "I'm sorry about all the huffing and puffing," the wolf mumbled. "We forgive you," said a lamb dressed as Queen Esther. "Come on, the Hamantaschen's stand is this way." So the wolf got his Hamantaschen, and when it was time for the Purim parade, he politely thanked Schleich again and returned his crown. That evening, the three little pigs made their way home, tired, happy, and full of Hamantaschen. But only Schleich still had his wonderful crown.